Hello, viewers. You're welcome to a fresh edition of my narrative, which I call Towards a Better Nigeria. And today I'm looking at the fight against corruption. I still remain your anchor on Motayo Motosho, but indeed I'm very, very annoyed today. And when I finish my talk, you will know what annoys me. Since 1986, almost 40 years now, I've been like a lone voice in the manger, talking about towards a better Nigeria, looking at ways we can evolve a better Nigeria, in and out of media. And a friend of mine came visiting from America a few days ago and asked me a very, very pertinent question. That, Motayo, do you think that Nigeria is not a joke? Do you think that Nigeria can actually evolve itself? Do you think that Nigeria could be better? And I asked him, why would you say that? And he said, the indices are all staring us at the face. The indices are there. Don't you know why the youngsters, the youths, are clamoring for positions of authority? Most of them see that the middle class and the top class, especially those within the age bracket of 50 years and above, you have failed your children. You have failed the youths. The youth believe that for you to be able to get so much money, for you to be able to be comfortable, for you to be able to be rich, you must hold a political appointment. You must be given the position of a director general or chief executive or executive secretary or minister or SA or be a legislator. And so the belief where the money is actually the coffers of government, where you can steal easily and nobody will ask you questions. Nigeria is a joke, he said. And that beats me hollow. Because what he was saying, there's some good elements of truth in it. And I said, well, we're fighting it. Because I'll be a disservice. I'll be doing a disservice to my nation if I just kept mute. I said, we're fighting it. I said, you're fighting it, but a lot of people are not fighting it. You're fighting it, but a lot of people are not. Even the so-called leaders, your leaders, those in government, chief executives of parastatals of agencies. You've been a chief executive before, but I know that some of your children had to take student loans to school abroad when they had to go for higher education. We're hearing the news that there are some chief executive of parastatals that siphoned money of government to their private pockets, private accounts, to settle their children's school fees, secondary school education abroad. How do you explain that to Motayo? We're not talking of university education. We're talking of secondary school. You don't have secondary school in Nigeria anymore? And he turned at me again and said, I know your children went to secondary school in Nigeria. It was when they were due for university. You and your husband sent them abroad. And they're still on student loans. I know some other DGs that served around your time. And those before. And those even after. That their children are paying student loans. But majority didn't have to take student loans. Their parents are holding big position of authority in government. And government is paying indirectly. Because their parents are stealing funds for personal settlement, for personal chores, for personal projects. Is that the way to evolve a better Nigeria? And it beats me so hollow. So I said to myself, really? A foreigner is saying this, and very, 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 very analytical. And it occurred to me that my next edition must really be, we're fighting corruption. Are we really serious about this? Why must we leave the fight of corruption to the president alone, to the number one citizen of Nigeria? When they're talking of corruption, Tinubu is not doing anything. Tinubu is not doing much. Why must it be one person to do that? No one person can perform the magic. Because it's become endemic over the years. In your own little way, they gave you position of authority as chief executive of a parastatal, supervised by a ministry. What are you doing there? How diligent have you been? How sincere? How honest? The funds that's meant for basic amenities for the impoverished, for our poor, for our children to have sound education, are we spending them the way we're supposed to? This expatriate of mine talked about one individual, told me about the second, about the third, about the fourth. Within 5-10 minutes, he's mentioned about 10. And really, I knew the 10. I'm not here to start mentioning names, but it beats me so hollow. I kept on wondering, is it not the same public office that some of us held some years ago, both at the state and the national level? And yet we subjected our children to taking student loans because we wouldn't just steal. It's not in our DNA. I know a lot of my colleagues that worked so hard for every dime they earned. Why can't everyone be like that, or 90%? Why is this expatriate saying 80% of our senior public officers take position of authority as the Lajes, Ijeshi station? Another friend called it because another friend who is a Nigerian was there. And they were laughing. That one born and bred in America was visiting. So Tayo, they call that Ijeshi station. So if you see the youth clamoring for position of authority and all that, what examples have we laid as the senior ones? Nigerians, we must turn a new leaf. If we want Committee of Nations globally to start respecting us,